A warm welcome to the webinar on wedding tourism with the theme of positioning Rajasthan as wedding capital of India. In fact, wedding as a sector, though unorganized, but holds a lot of promise and potential. And Rajasthan is very competitively placed to harness this and have a leadership position in the destination wedding segment. There are already some islands of excellence, and I hope that with connecting the dots, we can have our position strengthened as we proceed further. So we have a rich panel of speakers with us, and without taking much of your time, I would request Mr. Randhir Vikram Singh, co-chairman of FICCI Rajasthan State Council and CMD of Mandava Hotels, to give his welcome remarks. Many of you must be familiar. Randhir ji is synonymous to the heritage movement of Rajasthan and is presently president of Indian Heritage Hotels Association, and most of its members have properties that can provide you with the regal grandeur and experience for destination weddings. So with these words, I would request Mr. Randhir Vikram Singh for his welcome remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Atul, for your kind words. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Dheeraj Srivastav, Commissioner, Rajasthan Foundation, Mr. Nitish Jain, Director Tourism, Government of Rajasthan, Mr. Dilip Chenoy, Secretary General FICCI, M.K. Lakshraj Singh Mewar, Executive Director, HRH Group of Hotels, Mr. Surinder Singh Shapura, Chairman Shapura Hotels, Mr. Sandeep Loda, CEO, Oyo Weddings.in, Mr. Chetan Vora, Founder, Wedding Line, Mr. Siddharth Chaturvedi, General Secretary, the Event and Entertainment Management Association, participating delegates. Destination weddings are thriving more than ever in the wedding industry, as it embodies the most beautiful aspect of emotion and experiential celebrations with family and friends. It constitutes a significant portion of the travel wedding industry. Planners and agents specialize in delivering the perfect wedding celebrations at various destinations. The new norm for celebrating weddings in the post-COVID-19 world is slightly different. Weddings are smaller, more intimate, emphasizing strict hygiene standards as well as ensuring contactless services. Wedding travel will be restricted within this country, with people choosing domestic destinations instead of international. Other measures and preparations like open air venues and well spread out tables, arrangements and minimum contact buffet services will also be facilitated. Rajasthan is completely competitively placed to harness this potential segment due to better connectivity, splendor of heritage properties and modern architecture, plus lawns, music, dance, textile, cuisine, and skilled service providers. I'm sure that the appropriate policy and promotional interventions with facilities and positioning Rajasthan as wedding capital of India as well as the world gets more safer travel with vaccine and safe measures. I'm sure that the deliberation during the webinar would provide a meaningful insight on the current scenario, emerging trends, and future action agendas. We at FICCI would be working closely in coordination with the stakeholders to realize the shared vision and dreams. Thank you so much. Over to Atul.
Thank you, Chairman. In fact, rightly said, we have a rich mix of modern as well as traditional heritage properties, plus entire ecosystem wherein we have service providers, we have cuisines, music, everything that makes a perfect mix to position Rajasthan as a #1 wedding destination. Thank you. Now I would request Mr. Dilip Chenoy, Secretary General FICCI, for his setting the context address. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Atul. Thank you very much. Good morning. Mr. Dheeraj Srivastav, Commissioner, Rajasthan Foundation, Mr. Nishan Jain, Director Tourism, Government of Rajasthan, Mr. Ranveer Vikram Singh, co-chairman, Rajasthan State Council and the chairman and managing director of Mandava Hotels. Mr. Laksharaj Singh Mewar, executive director, HRH Group of Hotels. Mr. Surinder Singh Shahpura, chairman, Shahpura Hotels. Mr. Sandeep Lodha, CEO, Oyos Weddings.in. Mr. Chetan Vora, founder, Wedding Line. Mr. Siddharth Chaturvedi, General Secretary, the Event and Entertainment Management Association, EMA. Participating delegates, my colleague Atul. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and I hope that you and your families all are keeping safe and well. It's a pleasure to be here as part of this webinar on wedding tourism that aims at leveraging the rich and cultural and architectural heritage of Rajasthan, coupled with modern day infrastructure and connectivity to unleash the vast potential of the state in this segment. I just want to say that countries around the world have understood the importance of the wedding tourism. And in fact, some countries in the Middle East, which, if you were to imagine, can there be a beach wedding in the Middle East? There are two countries in the Middle East that have created special wedding zones on beaches in the Middle East, link them to the airports. Normally in the Middle East, you don't have alcohol permission, but in the special wedding zones, you actually have permission for alcohol. You have permission for fireworks, and you have great accommodation, and they have actually turned out to be attracting a lot of weddings from India there. And similarly, I think one reason why Atul has got me onto this program is many times when I visited Jaipur, I say, Atul, I'm coming into Jaipur, and he said, what are you coming for? I said, I'm coming for a wedding, right? And in some cases I traveled out somewhere, and of course the experience has been very good. But yet I believe that Rajasthan is punching under its weight in this area. It is got, we need to promote it among the key source markets as a unique wedding destination back home. We have to create an ecosystem where the hotels, travel operators, event managers, and other stakeholders work in close coordination to create a memorial experience for the guests, generating goodwill and more business. I don't know if you recall, in the Asian Games in '82, I was quite surprised. And, I used to work in a soft drink. I was the sort of plant manager of a soft drink bottling plant in Jaipur. And I was quite surprised when I came to know that the rowing competition is actually going to be held in Rajasthan. I said, how can they be rowing in Rajasthan? Rajasthan is like desert and, this thing. And eventually I drove down to the lake and I found the extremely great venue which was there. But, imagine if you could create a beach thing there and, promote it as a great opportunity going forward. Of course, 2020 has been a challenging year for all of us, and more so with the tourism sector, which is of importance to Rajasthan. This week, I think starting yesterday till the 16th is what we call in India the Saya week. 16th February is supposed to be the real date for all weddings. I don't know how many weddings are actually happening in Rajasthan, but with declining number of cases and vaccination, I'm sure that the situation will start stabilizing. And of course, most of the resorts, you can't get normally you could drive down to Ranthambore and get accommodation. You can no longer do that because it is booked many months in advance. And I believe that domestic tourism, including MICE, will be the driver for growth in the immediate short term in 2021. Most states have started their campaigns to reach out to the largest source markets. With Orissa Tourism, for example, we have done roadshows. In fact, one roadshow in Jaipur just 3 days ago, or 2 days ago, in fact, on the 3rd. And similarly, with Gujarat Tourism, we are doing things in Rajahmundry and other places there. And I believe that Rajasthan, We have a very strong partnership with Rajasthan in the area of tourism. We used to do the Great India Travel Bazaar. I've been there for the 18 and 19 editions. Unfortunately, 2020 could not be done due to the pandemic. We hope that we can actually do the next one. It's normally held in April. The time is appropriate. And in these days, in a digital world where we can do something physical and get a lot of people digital, we would be able to reposition that. Weddings in India are one of the largest things. There are approximate things. There are 22 million weddings a year in India. What is it that we can get to Rajasthan? Can we offer alternates to Goa, to Maldives, to the Middle East, to Bangkok? I'm sure we can. If we put a collective mind to it, we all have to work together and actually make it a reality. The one thing that the COVID pandemic has shown, that if governments, industry get together, both at the national and state level, we can actually change the world. So with that few words, I believe that we can make Rajasthan as the wedding capital of India. We need to work together. And thank you, Atul, for having me here. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing and bringing a different perspective to the debate and bringing a concept to the knowledge of our participants, like something we have heard about a special economic zone for industries and a special zone for industries, but a special zone for weddings is something that's a good idea to work upon in due course of time. And our next speaker is Mr. Laksharaj Singh Mewad. He is Executive Director of HRH Group of Hotels. In fact, he represents the third generation of hospitality professionals from the illustrious house of Mewad, and each of whom has contributed to Udaipur's emergence as one of the top 15 cities in the world. And he is recipient of many awards, including the 7th Bharat Gaurav Award at UK House of Commons at Parliament in London for being a source of inspiration to the youth of the nation, National Tourism Award, and commemorative awards for the extensive philanthropic work that he undertakes. So with these words, I invite Mr. Laksharaj Singh Mewad for his remarks.
Thank you. A very good morning to the august panel, and thank you very much for having me on this. It's a great privilege, it's a great honor to be able to share this platform with everyone across. First and foremost, what I would like to say is the fact that weddings help brand India. I think this is not just a segment which is related to a city or to a particular individual or to a particular hotel. I think this is really something as a nation. We are there who is a very celebratory nation, and we don't shy away from celebrations. And specifically in this regard, be it our weddings, I think that is certainly something that we like to really take to the hill. Parents, children, families, relatives, everybody gets very, very excited. So the first thing that we really need to understand is the fact that in today's context, in a business context, in the 21st century context, weddings no more have only remained a family affair. Now these things have become a economical affair, a city affair, a country affair. So those are the sort of things that I think needs to resonate with all the different stakeholders, be it government, be it private, be it individuals, be it performers, and various different segments, be it food, whatever that there may be, locally, nationally, as well as internationally. So these are such things which are absolutely fantastic, being able to be looked at in the manner that they are. We are putting India, certain states on the world platform. So now Rajasthan, as we are talking about it, I have heard Rajasthan, the word Rajasthan numerous times in this conference in the last 10 minutes. The fact that it's allowed Rajasthan to make an identity for itself as well. Now, where are you going to? So you're going to Rajasthan, or where are you going to Jaipur? Where are you going to Udaipur? So these places today have been able to create an identity for themselves apart from whatever else that they may be known for. Udaipur, the city of lakes. Yes, we certainly know it by that name. But today it's also being known as one of the greatest wedding destinations, which is competing with Lake Como in Italy. So this is the progress. This is the journey that people have been able to make today. So this is where I come in and say the idea is not to go through life. The idea is to grow through life. This is where nations are growing. This is where businesses are going. This is where individuals are growing. So that is what the beauty of it is. Now we talk about India as a nation, generally from its length and breadth and width. The fact of the matter is that under one roof, you have everything. Now, these are certain things that other nations are not in a position to provide. Once you come into India, do you want the beach? Can you get it? Yes, you can. Do you want the hills? Can you get it? Yes, you can. Do you want palaces and heritage structures? Can you get that? Yes, you can. So, there is not a single sort of diverse demographic that an individual is looking for is not available to them under one roof, which is India. So that is where I think the entire wedding fraternity also needs to come together and allow that businesses to flow into India, collectively kind of move forward in all of this, because diversity has been our strength. Different tastes, different genres that people may be looking for. It is something that this platform or this nation is ready to provide. Our infrastructure every year has been getting better. Yes, there is a long way to go. A lot still needs to be done, but has a lot been done? Yes, a lot has been done. So we are making progress. This pandemic has obviously come in as a great jolt. We were obviously moving at a very fast pace. A lot of things were evolving, a lot of things were changing, a lot of things were developing. But obviously this has put in a bit of a gap. I'm sure in the coming times, these things will come back on its feet. But so for example, a small example that we can understand to illustrate, for example, international performers who never traveled to Asia, let alone India, have traveled to India because of a wedding. Now, those bigger names, and imagine their one tweet, the fact that they tweeted one thing saying that, for example, for India as well as to brand India and to be able to market India, billion-dollar marketing would not have been able to achieve it. The one tweet that ended up saying that no trip to India is complete without visiting Udaipur. Now, when those sort of tweets go out to 70 million followers or 80 million followers, those sort of things is something that money cannot buy. Now, this is being done through a wedding. This is not a marketing campaign, or it is not something that has been done. So that is the power that the weddings today have in being able to not only make the celebration grand and great, but also to put up the nation in the world of the others who would get attracted and come here and help us all be together.
Thank you, Mr. Vivek. In fact, rightly said, Udaipur has been home to many celebrity weddings, and you also have a big role. You have played a significant role in promoting Udaipur as a destination, and it also not only about experience, but it also have a multiplier effect of the tourism per se. So going forward, I would request Mr. Sandeep Loda, who is the CEO of oyoweddings.in. He is CEO of wedding. He is CEO of weddings.in. It was acquired by Oyo Hotels and Homes in 2018. He is an IIT graduate and a Wharton Business School alumnus with 15 years plus experience in retail space. And the idea of weddings.in, he will share in his address also, emanated out of a wedding that he attended and thought of consolidating various unorganized things. So we will listen from him only. Over to you, Mr. Loda.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Atulji, for inviting me here. This is a very prestigious platform and we have some great speakers here. So thank you again. Dilipji mentioned, 22 million weddings that happen in India, right? And you mentioned, Atul, that I am an IIT and Wharton. That's why I started this business, because this is a very, very large market. It is one of the largest markets or industries in India and growing 15 to 20% year on year, right? So a very large market and unorganized. So that's why, people like us jumped into this business to really add value. Now, of course, I will go into detail, but I will give you one summary about Rajasthan. And this may be a little surprising to all of us. I mean, of course, COVID is a huge pandemic and we are all in shock. But for wedding segment, if there is one state that benefits the most, it will be Rajasthan. Now, of course, you'll all be surprised at why will Rajasthan benefit the most. Two trends that are happening. One is the segment, the size of the wedding has shrunk. So more, and Randhirji mentioned this, right? The size of the wedding has shrunk. People are doing smaller weddings, more intimate weddings. And they're looking for resorts. They're looking for better places to go. So while they were spending a large amount of money earlier, calling thousands of guests, now they're calling 100, 150, 200 guests. They can take that money and do a very good wedding in a resort or a palace, right? And that's Rajasthan for us. Second trend that's happening is people are not doing international weddings. Thailand, Dubai, Mauritius, those things are not happening. Again, who is benefiting? It's Rajasthan. So to give you some numbers, of course, we'll go into details. This month itself, we have gotten 6,000 inquiries for a wedding in Rajasthan. In January 2021, we have gotten 6,000 inquiries for weddings in Rajasthan. That's, how much Rajasthan is benefiting from, not to say somebody should benefit, but, and COVID is not good, but it is benefiting. So, I do want to, we have the right people on the platform here. So I do want to mention what we can do from the government perspective, from the industry perspective to really tap this market that we're talking about. But before that, I do want to talk a little bit about Weddings.in, because so that we understand how we play. We are India's largest wedding company. We are a one-stop solution for all wedding customers. We provide venue and non-venue services like photography, makeup, mehendi to all our customers. And besides being a one-stop shop, what we provide to the customer is a guarantee of a great event. And how do we do it? We partner with good venues and we partner with artists, and we provide great events by working with them to ensuring our SOP is followed. So we have an SOP and we ensure our venues and artists follow this. 99% plus of our customers are actually say that they had a great event with us. So that's how much we track our happy customers. In 2019, we executed 27,000 weddings. And of course, in 2020, we were hoping to execute more, but we executed 15,500 weddings across India. If you coming to Rajasthan, through several initiatives, we managed to enable and support our venue partners in Rajasthan. And we made sure they were trained and they implemented the COVID process so that people have safe weddings. Some of the venue partners that we work with, we were able to provide 50 to 70% of business through us, right? So the walk-ins had dropped, online contribution moved up. So we were able to provide to some of our partners in Rajasthan, 50 to 70% business was coming through us, right? And in Rajasthan, we executed around 488 weddings in 2020. And this number was, of course, 1,000 in 2019. So the number dropped by half, but still a healthy number is what we did in 2020. Now, like I said, the demand for Rajasthan weddings is very high. 6,000 inquiries we got in January 2021. People looking for wedding in Rajasthan. Some of them are from Rajasthan, and most of them are from outside Rajasthan. Of course, we talked about smaller weddings. Randhirji also mentioned about hygiene becoming important. And those are important trends that are playing in the market right now, right? People are looking for smaller weddings, domestic weddings, safe and hygienic weddings, right? And so Rajasthan, I think a lot of you mentioned, it's one of the most fascinating and colorful states in India, right? It's definitely not just about forts and palaces, it's about the rich culture and traditions. And frankly, whatever you say, I think when we are growing up, all of us want to have our dream wedding in Rajasthan, if you can afford it, right? If you can afford it, all of us would like to have a dream wedding. And I have dealt with customers myself. If you talk to a customer in Delhi and in the northern belt, right? And if you ask them, if you had the choice, if you had the money, where would you do your wedding? We have done this. Most of them would say Rajasthan, right? They would take a Volvo bus and just go to Rajasthan, Jaipur, Manesar, and then do a wedding there and come back, right? Can we enable them? I think we have inquiries, we have customers. Can we enable them? And that's the platform that we are talking about here, right? How do we enable these North customers to actually use Rajasthan for their weddings? And like Dilipji said, right? Like, can we make this a wedding hub of India? I think we can. I think if all of us here really want to do it, we can. And it's not just about the heritage. If you look at Bollywood also, I saw this movie, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, where, Uday Vilas was there. I think, in Bollywood weddings also happen in Rajasthan. So a lot of stuff is going well for Rajasthan, right? The location of Rajasthan, the domestic wedding happening, all the Bollywood fascinated by Rajasthan. So I think, what can we do? So here are 5 or 6 things that I would recommend that we start to think about how to make Rajasthan really the forefront, the place where people should think about wedding, right? So, I don't see, we should start to market Rajasthan as a location for weddings, right? So the government of the state of Rajasthan, the government of Rajasthan, people here should enable this, where everywhere weddings are happening, in every destination, or in Delhi, billboards everywhere, marketing everywhere, digital platform. I think we really need to market Rajasthan as the location for weddings, right? I think we need to make Rajasthan, Jaipur, whatever, as a top of mind. Top of mind when people think about wedding location, Rajasthan should come as a top, and in a way that this state cares about it. How do we care about it? We can care about by saying, look, we will provide, if you do a wedding in Rajasthan, it is Rajasthan government's liability. We will provide you law and order protection. We will give you GST rebate to venues for customers coming out of state, right? So GST rebate, if you think about, the hotels, if you provide them GST rebate for customers coming from outside, I think it makes it cheaper. It makes it easier for people to start thinking about Rajasthan as a place to do wedding. There are a lot of heritage properties that are still closed. I myself been to a lot of, killas in Rajasthan, which are still more for tourists. Can you open sections of those and give exclusive to some customers? A lot of customers would love to have, a part of the wedding in Amir Killa or whatever, right? So can we open some of these heritage properties? Can you allow people to have wedding on the dunes of Jaisalmer, right? We haven't marketed wedding on a dunes of Jaisalmer, but if you go back to the US and ask people in the US, where would you get married? They would say a beach or a sand dunes. Sand dunes we never market. They don't even know how to do a wedding on the sand dunes of Jaisalmer, right? I have been to myself to Jaisalmer, but I don't know how to do it. So can government take the initiative and do that, right? Certify wedding planners that people can trust, and certification can come from, making sure these vendors and artists who have been in the industry for long, can we at least certify them, right? See, I don't want to, when I come to Rajasthan, I don't want to deal with a wedding planner or a photographer or a makeup artist who has just come into business. I could get screwed. Can you certify saying, yeah, I certify this person is certified by the government of Rajasthan that he is a good vendor. So I think these are 5 or 6 things. So I would want to, let me reiterate, market Rajasthan as the go-to place for wedding. Market Rajasthan in a way like, you can do palace wedding, you can do this wedding, fort wedding, you can do sand dunes wedding, whatever wedding you dream of, you can do it. Provide GST rebates, formalize the sector a little bit by certifying people, right? Provide law and order protection. And finally, let's spend more time training venues for hygiene. So I think with that, those are my recommendations, Atulji, and the group here, that really we are in the sweet spot. And if we get it right, we can really take bulk of the market to Rajasthan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Loda, for sharing the views on how to proceed further on this. In fact, the certification thing makes a lot of sense, because it increases credibility of your service providers. And law and order by and large is fine, but how can we market and promote it aggressively along with some concessions to the sector? These are very important. And having 6,000 queries with you alone speaks volumes about the potential of the sector and Rajasthan, how the state can take advantage of this. Thank you for your views. Moving forward, I would request Mr. Chetan Vora, who is founder of Wedding Line. He is founder and managing director of twin brands, Line Communication and Wedding Line, and is a seasoned and well-known professional in the event and entertainment industry. He started his career at the age of 18 with Tata Tea as a tea taster and one of the youngest tea taster at the time, and spent more time in brand teams and marketing desk conceptualizing presentations and advertising campaigns. So we will learn from your experience. Over to you, Mr. Vora.
Good afternoon. I think it's just about afternoon. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this great platform. We've got some great people on board and been listening very intently to everything that people are saying. And I'm not going to repeat what Sandeep ji said or what Lakshara ji said. Mirror exactly that. We are all from the same industry, and I think our learnings are very similar. Our thought processes are very similar. I'm going to come back very briefly to exactly what, let's understand that a wedding is actually the biggest celebration in the Indian culture. And apart from, by the time you put the kids through school and college, you're definitely, that's the next big event, is that unki shaadiyan kaise kare aur kahan kare. Now, we as planners have actually, continually been asked time and time again that, where do we go? And aap bataiye, you guys are part of it. You're in the stream, you're swimming with the fish. You tell us where to go, and that's effectively what. So exactly like what Sandeep does, our organizations come in and we are asked where to go. And that question of answering that question and guiding or consulting a client on where to go holds a lot of weight. It of course is that everything you've got in Rajasthan, you've got everything. You've got the forts, you've got the palaces, you've got the old world, but simultaneously you've got the new world with it. And that's what every customer wants. So I think very rarely do you find that you can stay in the lap of luxury. You can stay in a 5-star hotel with all the peak luxury, but at the same time you can take a evening out and do a celebration at a fort, or do a wedding at the fort itself. So that's a very interesting proposition to have from a planner. The other question is, everybody asks us, how do you get there? So logistics is a very big, very important aspect, and I think connectivity is again only improving. We've been part of this in the last few years, and we've seen from international people having to arrive in Delhi and clear customs and immigration and then drive to Rajasthan or fly to Rajasthan. And now today you have direct access into multiple places. Bringing charters in have become a lot easier. We've seen a steady stream of that coming in. Nothing needs to be said about the hospitality. It is Padharo Maro Desh is actually synonymous worldwide. I think everybody takes cues in exactly what that really means. And then comes the infrastructure, which is very important, is to basically have people who can pull off the entire thing. So you have everything that's going for you, which is there. But when people travel to a state for a cause, in this case a wedding, to get to the thing, and you're taking, in the good old days we had 500, 700, 800 people traveling. We're now down to limited to 200, 300 people. There was people who travel for a cause, and they end up spending money. They end up giving back to the local economy. That helps in developing the state. But the expectation, I was just making notes when Laksharat spoke about Udaipur being compared to a Lake Como. It definitely is. I mean, for us as a local planner today, we get up and say, why do you want to go all the way to Italy when you've got that? I'll tell you a personal experience. I've been part of a few big celebrity weddings. One of them was to happen in Lake Como. We went around and did that entire thing, and then came back and said, listen, ye sab to Rajasthan mein bhi milta hai. And we came back and we did it. And of course, unfortunately, dates were such that the Indian Lake Como wasn't available, but we landed up in Jodhpur, did it at the Umaid Bhavan, and it was one of the biggest weddings that the world had seen. It was Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas's wedding. And, the celebrations that saw, and we've had about close to our 25, 30 international queries come in after that. People have got up and said, oh, this beautiful palace, can we do this? Or we didn't know it was a hotel. So that is the level at which we really feel that the power of media, the power of doing the right profiling of the state really, really works in your favor. The other thing is, having said that, there's an expectation that the Indian consumer has when he goes internationally. They will forgive you for many things. The food might not be good, or the travel might not be good. They'll forgive you for that. But when it comes to India, they're very unforgiving. So Rajasthan is, everybody has a certain huck that they come back and say, ye to ghar hai, yahan pe everything has to be better. And that actually makes life difficult. I can see Siddharth smiling. He'll come in, I'm guessing, at some point and mirror this. But the fact is that we see this becoming a big problem. So when they say no, in Italy, okay, it doesn't matter if the bus is 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late or if there's traffic. In India, if that happens in Udaipur or Jodhpur or Jaipur, people will come back to us and say, oh, this can't happen. So the expectation is very important. And when you and a platform as big as FICCI, when you talk about wedding tourism, it's a very bold statement. 4 years ago, I was part of possibly the first wedding tourism announcement that FICCI did, and some of us were on that panel as well. And we had a very interesting deliberation on wedding tourism and how to go. In the last 4 years, things have only grown. Even with the pandemic, there have been certain depletions in sizes and numbers, but the fact is the industry still continues to grow, and the resolve is that much more. So I really feel that when we look at something from a perspective of wedding tourism and the industry really coming together under the aegis like a brand like FICCI, I think the one thing we really need to do is understand that how do we aid the development of the product called wedding. And most of us run organizations, and we are selfish in our own growth, and we don't give back and we don't see. But is there a development? A lot of people have come back to me and said, we go to Rajasthan, why do we need to bring in artists from outside? It is, in fact, it's funny because when we do weddings in Goa and Bombay and Delhi, we bring in artists we bring the Manganyar performers, you bring in all of that. So is there a talent hub that we can create, and then get people to come in? Are there some of your best weaves, some of your best colors, some of the best fabrics come from Rajasthan? So I think if we can start looking at development platforms that aid the overall infrastructure of weddings, just that goes beyond hotels, that go beyond but if we can get in the art and culture and all of that back into things, I think that's a very, very important aspect that we can see. There's a certain amount of now this is also market divided into the Indians who come into Rajasthan come in because it's easy, it's well coordinated, you've got fantastic infrastructure and hotels and all of that is there. But you also have a huge segment of people who are waking up to India and coming in. So every tweet that unfortunately for whatever reasons a person might tweet, like Rihanna or somebody might tweet, but the fact is India still, people are waking up to India. I remember again another wedding we did for an international celebrity again, Katy Perry. She's a singer. She chose to get married in Ranthambore and at the Vani Villas, and that was a wedding that happened there. And there was a plane that was chartered to land there, which had the who's who of the world, and they came in and sing. So the fact is, it's not that they don't know; they all know it, but they don't know how to get there. So a lot of people, when we go there, they make a big issue about the fact that there's somebody. So I did something in UK, and there was one of the earls in this particular county who you could hire, and he would come in on all the in all their finery, and they would host a tea which you actually paid for, but you hosted that particular thing, and the earl came in and he made a celebrity appearance, and it was a very big thing at that wedding that the earl was hosting a high tea for the couple. Why don't we do something like that in India? We've got very respected royalty, and we're not saying that we want to productivize them, but we're saying that if there's an opportunity for people to actually interact with them, that's the culture, that's the kind of experiences that people are looking at, which is there. The other thing I did mention at one point of time, I remember back in the days, was that wedding tourism is a great idea. It is the future. It is going to take off. It already has. A lot of us are thriving on trying to make it our core line of business. But also what happens is that other states are going to wake up to it, and everyone's going to start looking at it. So is there a ranking that is possible? How do we rank the fact that this is a state that you can go? Thankfully, and by God's grace, you've got everything going for you. You've got safety, security, you've got beauty, you've got legacy, all of that's really going for you. So can we look at, if this is a unified council, can we look at a state-wise ranking? And that goes out and that tells people that, okay, this is what you can do. The other thing just before I end is, the wedding customer, when you talk about the wedding industry, he's also very, very fickle. So 5 people will do it at Rajasthan. The 6th one will get up and say, nahi ji, sabne kar liya, hame nahi karna hai. How do you reinvent the space? So how do you safeguard your hotels and palaces and various, your entire state? And how do you, we can get up and say, okay, this is a 5-year plan and we'll go development. We can go from north, south, east, west of Rajasthan and slowly start developing it. Because when you go and you open the exposure up to everybody, unfortunately, there are people who are going to get up and say, no, it's been done to death and now let's go somewhere else. So that's what I have to say. I think it's a great idea. And thank you for this platform. And we'd be very happy to continue support it in whatever way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Boda, for sharing your experiences and how it helps contribute to have a multiplier effect on the promotion of the state, both for weddings and tourism in general. And moving forward, I would request Mr. Siddharth Chaturvedi, who is General Manager of the Events and Entertainment Management Association and also CEO of Event Crafter. In fact, he headed the task force as the General Secretary of EMA, composed of 15 subject matter experts to guide industry professionals on reapproaching people for events or weddings of different sizes across geographies in the more authentic and safe manner. And he also has some on-ground experience of executing these things in Rajasthan. So he can share what we can do further to strengthen our position in this area. Over to you, Mr. Chaturvedi.
Thank you so much, Atulji, and a warm hello to the August panel here. Let me start by congratulating FICCI Rajasthan to host this seminar today. Initiatives like these of dialoguing with key stakeholders will bring the focus to the much deserving and often neglected wedding industry, which is becoming the key driver of tourism, especially in the state of Rajasthan. Let me start by talking a little bit about EMA here, in case some of you don't know about it. The Event and Entertainment Management Association, which is popularly named called as EMA, is an autonomous and non-profit registered body of companies, institutions, and professionals operating within the events and experiential marketing industry of India. The event industry has exponentially grown over the last 2 decades. And EMA, since its inception in 2008, has now over 1,000 entities as members and affiliates in various segments and levels across 100+ cities in India. So EMA is the first and only body of its kind which seeks to bring together the country's leading event management, sports management, brand activation companies, MICE event managers, wedding planners, experiential marketers, entertainment professionals, artist management companies, and international counterparts on the same platform. EMA today is only national association with a unified body that leads dialogue within its members and with government, statutory bodies, taxation authorities, private and municipal licensing bodies, corporate industry, vendors, and artists. In these tough COVID times, EMA got together a team of various subject matter experts to form a COVID task force, which came out with SOPs of various kind of events and experiences, including that of the weddings in the month of August. These SOPs were submitted to the MHA, and we immediately backed it by successfully demonstrating these SOPs by conducting safe live simulation events in 4 cities simultaneously, which was Delhi, Goa, Kochi, and Chandigarh. Post this successful demonstration, the government opened the sector with a cap of 100 people in a wedding stroke event, which brought some respite in this sector, which was under a lot of stress. We also have started 24/7 helpline in our We Care initiative to help the people of the fraternity who are under tremendous mental stress in these times. This helpline gave them much needed confidential, emotional support and other solutions. Now coming to Rajasthan, Rajasthan has been a key state for focus for EMA. I remember in 2013, when Jaipur was chosen as the venue of a flagship spotlight event named Imagine and EMAX Awards. The entire event industry of the country came and marveled on the beautiful forts, palace, the exotic and offbeat locations, the amazing choices and standards of hotels, and of course, the unbeatable Padharo Mare Des hospitality it had to offer. When over 500 key industry influencers from all across came and experienced what the state had to offer, what followed it was the emergence of state as the favorite wedding destination in the country. The erstwhile royals of the state are opening up their magnificent palaces and forts and castles and venues for weddings had already created the right platform for this success story. My esteemed co-panelists have already talked about various key USPs of Rajasthan as a wedding destination. I would not like to touch upon that, but what I'd like to touch upon is a very key aspect which actually is playing the most important role in Rajasthan becoming the key destination today, which is, which are these young entrepreneurs. There are these young entrepreneurs who are getting into this business on a daily basis. The ecosystem of resource is getting stronger and stronger by the day in Rajasthan. The fabricators, the florists, the prop suppliers, the technical vendors, the tent house people, you are getting the best of the world-class solution coming to you in a place like Jaipur, Udaipur, Jodhpur already. The artisans and artists are coming in terms with of adapting and understanding the use of technology, which is so heartening. This is what initiated us to at EMA to do a key initiative called Raj is Sthan. We call it Raj is Sthan. And I'm thankful to the Department of Tourism for partnering that initiative back in 2017. We invited the key wedding planners from all over the country to come and meet these key resources of the state, one-on-one in a speed vending format. Again, the initiative proved to be a game changer as it gave a huge confidence to the wedding planners from across to actually meet the kind of quality resources the ecosystem what the state has already developed and had to offer. In 2019, we once again hosted the coveted Imagine and Emax Awards in Jaipur. I was the chair of the convention and cannot thank DOT again to become the partner of the event in showcasing the state like never before to the community when we hosted the Emax Awards at the Great Amer Fort. It's etched forever in every delegate's, event managers of the country's memory. The convention once again set the benchmark in showcase the hospitality, and yet again we saw a huge influx of weddings coming to the town and the state following this initiative. The potential of Rajasthan as a wedding destination is yet not being exploited to its full capacity. We have at least 10 more destinations apart from the Tri-City of Jaipur, Jodhpur and Udaipur, which can be developed as equally big destinations. All we need is better connectivity. Moment Jaisalmer got connecting flights with Mumbai, Delhi and Jaipur, it saw a phenomenal surge in wedding last season and in the current year too. And you've seen it. Today it's in the news. We're already talking about a Jaisalmer model here, where entrepreneurs of the city have gone and signed an MOU with an airline, giving them a bank guarantee that if you suffer a loss, we will we'll ensure that so it's a great model to look at in various other towns of the state. Request the government and especially the tourism department here to include us, the event managers, the wedding planners, and the experientialists as a key stakeholder in making the tourism policy, as one cannot deny that events and celebrations of special occasions is fast becoming the nucleus of all tourism economic activity. Jaipur Literature Festival is the perfect proof of concept for the same, and so are the royal weddings of Rajasthan. We need the government to realize the potential of this business and address this as the key area of focus in tourism for policy. Let us together brainstorm more such initiatives where we display our potential to the best of the world. I'm a proud local, a proud flag bearer of my culture too. I started my career 23 years back as a young 20-year-old first generation entrepreneur from the state and started the first professionally managed agency of the state named Event Crafter. Realizing the importance of wedding solutions, we started a focus vertical in our organization called Weddings by Event Crafter, and we've been doing weddings in various parts of the state and outside. But can claim with all confidence that Rajasthan is definitely the capital of destination weddings in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chaturvedi. In fact, the pool of people like you delivers the confidence that we can execute the events living up to the expectation of our guests and create memorable events for future business and repeat business and promotion of tourism. So your role is important, and we look forward to work with you closely in times to come. And our next speaker is Mr. Surendra Singh Shekhawat. He is chairman of Shahpura Hotels, and he is into hospitality business for over 30 years. Hotel Shahpura House, Jaipur, Hotel Shahpura Haveli, and Kumbal Vilas, Kumbalgarh. All these are iconic heritage or neo-heritage properties, and we will be happy to understand from his perspective how we take Rajasthan forward on the wedding tourism curve. Over to you, Mr. Shahpura.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Khamagani. First of all, I would like to thank FICCI for inviting me for this webinar. In last 30 years of my experience, this is the first time that we have catered to the marriages. In last 30 years, we were only catering to the inbound tourist. Maybe it is all due to COVID. We are today surviving on marriages. Forget about what stimulation we were supposed to get, but I thank, and I really thank the event organizers that we've been able to revive and we'll survive now. Looking to what sort of a crisis we are going through and what do we expect from people and what we have got. Probably there is a saying, Ekla chalo in Rajasthan. You have to find your own way and you have to stand up. This marriage destination in Rajasthan is going to really support us to bounce back where we were in March 2020. Everything has been spoken by the seniors, by Maharaj Kumar Sahab, by Sandeep ji, by Siddharth ji, and I would not like to repeat everything again, but I would like to add some ideas which my partners, wedding planners would pick it up. Sir, in Rajasthan, there are forts, palaces, which are already running as hotels. But there are certain heritage properties which do not have rooms, which cannot cater to your, what you call, number of keys. Please use those properties as a highlight. And for accommodation, either you can travel or there are very good people here in Rajasthan who can do tenting. You can use the farmlands, a good location, and the highlight of your wedding could be that fort, could be that palace, could be that Haveli, because it's not always easy or it's not always possible for the owner to convert that property into a hotel, but it can be used, it can be used for your product. You can have your evenings there, you can have the marriage solemnized there. Like one of the speakers said, people would want to go to the desert, they want to go and get married on the sand dunes. Something like this, you have Ocean. In Ocean, people are having properties there. But definitely, we'll have to give some different, other than palaces, other than the hotels here, whatever we have, I would suggest that go a little bit in rural areas. Like Mandava is very famous. Nawalgarh is very famous. Devgarh is very famous. These types of destination, if they are promoted, the other small properties get a chance. There are properties in rural areas which have got 10 rooms, 15 rooms, 20 rooms, but near and around them, there are certain potentialities where you can plan your wedding. As you plan your wedding in Jaipur, you plan your wedding in Jodhpur, they are already very famous. I don't say that the business has to be siphoned out from there, but give a chance to people who are in the interiors, people who are in the rural areas. There has to be variety, like what we said. What different do we have when we go for an international marketing abroad? And when we talk to the same FTO, he said we want something different. Not the same itinerary. Show us something different, Mr. Singh. What do you have? What are you going to offer? Oh, this Golden Triangle, this is good enough. We have done it. All our tourists have done it. We start getting scared. What is going to happen if this is oversold? So let's start giving them something different. You have waters here in Udaipur, then there is Jodhpur, Jaipur is there. Please explore the surroundings, 100 kilometers from these cities, these big metro cities, where people would want to come in the evening for a shopping post-marriage or pre-marriage, whatever you have, they can come, they can go around in Jaipur, go back. So these distances should be, worked out. You have to do your homework, do a little bit of recce. I'm sure you will find properties. Near and around Delhi, you have this Alwar region is there. Near and around, if you go to Jodhpur, you have the Narlai, Nadol, that region is there. All these places have small potentialities. If you go and see, probably the property owner will not be benefit that much as you will be there, because you will have something different in your product. You will be able to convince people who want to have a marriage solemnized in a different way. And like this, probably in Rajasthan, we will have much more to offer. Rajasthan as a positioning in marriage is already on the top. People want to come to Rajasthan, they want to go to Jaipur or Jodhpur, but what I'm trying to say is that your expertise should be used. We can always work together. There are certain suggestions, there are certain things which I can tell you where you can go and find things. Small marriages can be organized, small marriages. We have done this time, I have done around 30 marriages from 50 to 150 people. In small properties. What properties which we have, the Chhabra hotels have, are not big properties. But I was surprised why people would come. Whether it was COVID or whatever, but people enjoyed. So there is room, you can go and see other properties which are offbeat properties. You can sit down with the owner who has, and you can sit down and come on a terms. And these things can be offered in your plan so that you have variety to be given to those people who want to come and spend money. A very good suggestion by one of the speaker was on rebate on GST. It's very nice suggestion. This should be adopted. I would request the platform of FICCI to take this ahead. Maybe this can be done in GST, or it can also be done in the ITR returns if people show their income of marriages of their first children. Like if a module can be worked out, if the first child marriage has been done and the expenditure is shown on the books, certain percentage of it can be taken into the expenditure, or it can be slashed into your amount what you pay as taxes, how we have in Mediclaim and the rents and lease, etc. Something like this. If something like these things have been worked out, can be worked out, probably it will give more room for people to come and do marriages, not only in Rajasthan but everywhere. In Rajasthan, of course, if GST rebate can be taken, it's very nice. And RWCC, sir, one of these speaker was wanting about the cultural hub. We already have Rajasthan West Zone Culture, which is in Udaipur, and out over there you have all these artists who are registered for your marriages, in case if you people are looking. So this is a government organization, and you can have your artist taken from there, as we do Gangor and all. We get the artist, and the fullest cooperation of the tourism department is there with us. So I would like to end up with this. Most of it has been spoken by Lakshya Raj Singh ji and other speakers. So I would thank again for calling me and sharing this dais. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chhabra, for sharing your perspective. And we have a state level tax advisory committee meeting where the director tourism has to go for that meeting, and hope that he is able to join before we end. Our next speaker is Mr. Dheeraj Srivastava, who is Commissioner of Rajasthan Foundation, and in fact he has done notable work in reviving the bonds with the Rajasthani diaspora and bringing them at one platform from around the globe and contributing towards overall development of Rajasthan. Many of you must be familiar that he has over 2 decades of experience as an administrative service officer, and he has worked as OSD to the Chief Minister from 93 to 2003. He has been OSD in the prestigious National Advisory Council, Prime Minister's Office, New Delhi in 2004, Private Secretary to Srimati Sonia Gandhi, Chairperson UPA and National Advisory Council, and also in Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, New Delhi in 2010. and his services were also utilized in the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, New Delhi. So we are honored to have you, sir, amongst us, and look forward to your address. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar, Khamagani. A very warm and good afternoon to this August gathering. Thank you very much, Atulji, for raising such a subject which has forced me to cancel all my programs. And I made it a point that I must join this program of yours. I extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Randhir Vikram Singh, Dilip Shenoy Saab, Mr. Lakshraj Singh Mewar, Mr. Sandeep Loda, Mr. Chetan Vora, Mr. Siddharth Chaturvedi, Mr. Suren Singh Shapura Saab, and my colleague and friend Nishant, who was to join, but as you mentioned that he has to go for some meeting. So I'll try to, address to some points which have been raised here. I've been asked to address the keynote address. So the first point I want to mention is that marriage is a lifetime affair, and couples want to make their wedding remarkable and memorable for the rest of their lives. The best matches may be made in heaven, but the most memorable weddings happen in picturesque locales back on earth. Couples now look for exotic locations to make the special I do moment even more special. And what can be better than the beautiful settings in Rajasthan? It is well known that fairy tale weddings do come true in Rajasthan. It is such a place which is known for its hospitality, the Mehman Nawazi, Manwar. यहाँ तो मनवार के नाम से कई रेस्टोरेंट्स भी हैं, होटल्स हैं, रिसोर्ट्स हैं, और हर माँ बाप की इच्छा है कि उसके बेटे की बेटी की शादी अच्छी से अच्छी शादी हो, शान शौकत से हो, राजकुमार और राजकुमारी जैसी जो शादियां हैं, जहाँ सारी परंपराएं, रीति रिवाज और शान शौकत, जिसकी जैसी श्रद्धा है, जिसका जैसा बजट है, वो पूरा हो सके. एंड राजस्थान बिफिट्स ऑल दीज रिक्वायरमेंट्स. यहाँ पे हर प्रकार की हवेलियां, पैलेसेस, रिसोर्ट्स उपलब्ध हैं. कनेक्टिविटी, रेल कनेक्टिविटी, रोड कनेक्टिविटी, एयर कनेक्टिविटी, बॉम्बे, दिल्ली, every major city is well connected. So with its resplendent regal palaces and romantic gardens, this majestic desert estate is the perfect location for a union which is both magical and rooted in Indian traditions. Rajasthan has been the preferred destination for several high-profile weddings, as mentioned here. Liz Hurley, Arun Nair, Katy Perry, and Russell Brand, Ravina Tandon, Priyanka, Ambani's pre-wedding events, to name a few. As destination weddings become popular, it adds another dimension to now famous the big fat Indian wedding. Destination wedding is the newest trend that has caught the fancy of Indians. Indian destination wedding industry is estimated at INR 45,000 crore with a projected annual growth of 25 to 30%. Factors include the rise of the middle class, a booming economy, and celebrity endorsements. The social media induced aspiration has also contributed to this growth with a trend of creating Instagrammable posts. The biggest beneficiary of the growing destination weddings trend is the hospitality sector, obviously. The domestic hospitality industry has been one of the worst hit sectors, which was severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent lockdowns, which restricted mobility and hotel occupancies in all the major markets. While COVID-19 has disrupted the world as we know it, it has also come bearing a lot of new so. While guest lists may have shrunk, it paved the way for safe destination weddings, a game changer for the Indian wedding industry. Ultimately, weddings are very much a part of the social DNA. And as they say, kuch bhi ho jaye, shaadiyan to honi hi hai. According to latest reports, weddings helped revive the hotel sector. A JLL report says that wedding ceremonies will play even more pivotal role in 2021 to help hotel garner revenues. Rajasthan is, of course, the most popular destination in India for hosting royal-themed destination weddings. The state's world-class hotel network has benefited from the emergence of new market segments such as MICE and destination weddings. The growing demand for destination weddings can play a significant role in transforming the economy and in creating new avenues for growth for the overall hospitality sector in Rajasthan. Wedding tourism and destination weddings can be a significant game changer for the Rajasthan hospitality industry. The government of Rajasthan recognizes this huge opportunity, and the latest tourism policy also seeks to diversify existing products, giving priority to lesser known destinations and improve visitors' experience, including destination wedding. According to this policy, wedding destinations will be identified, graded, and listed to facilitate wedding planners and event management firms. Guidelines will be drawn up for identifying heritage properties and gardens owned by government as hosting venues. Rajasthan Foundation, as you know, has been encouraging non-resident Rajasthanis to connect to their roots. I am sure weddings solemnized in their home state would make their event more memorable. NRRs could contribute to the growth of tourism industry in the state in many ways, including weddings in their land of origin. Today's brainstorming, and I have noted with great interest, I must acknowledge the fact that very good ideas have emanated from today's webinar, like special zones to be developed, wedding hubs, and the question and the challenge is how Rajasthan can emerge in getting the lion's share out of this coming up sector. So I would request Atulji, when this is over, such illustrious people have joined who have really given the grassroots realities and made some very meaningful suggestions. We must take note of their valuable suggestions. आप इसका एक अच्छा सा डॉक्यूमेंट तैयार करिए, इंडिविजुअली सबको कनेक्ट करके उनके एक अलग अलग, अगर if everybody can give a set of their suggestion, it will be very helpful. I can assure this gathering here that from government of Rajasthan, we will ensure that all those suggestions are really looked into, worked upon, and we come to a logical conclusion. For instance, OYO just mentioned, from OYO, I think Sandeep Lodha ji, आपने बताया कि 6,000 inquiries for, they came to you. अब आप ये देखिए कि जो out of these 6,000, it must be varied from, middle class to upper middle class to royal and host of people. So we should come up with all sorts of budget weddings, and we must develop various destinations from Rajasthan. आप धौलपुर से बाड़मेर और बूंदी से बीकानेर, कोई शहर ऐसा नहीं है जहां पर आपको कुछ अनोखा अजूबा और इस तरीके की चीज ना देखने को मिले. संदीप जी ने एक और बताया, जो हेरिटेज प्रॉपर्टीज को ओपन किया जाए एंड सर्टिफिकेशन. I am really impressed with this thought. Certification is need of the hour. Everybody, if today I have to see that my daughter is married in some place, I'll definitely like to hire some people who are certified. So how we should go about it, you please give us an elaborate suggestion. As far as opening heritage properties, I must tell you, the latest tourism policy has two very significant factors: route tourism and connecting Rajasthan, where any non-resident Rajasthani can open up their haveli, their property, their whatever property they are having back home, and if it is worth it, government, as I mentioned above, government can consider that as a hosting venue. Challenges, as rightly pointed out by another speaker, how to meet the expectations. And as rightly said, I also feel any person who spends a single penny must, it is not that in India we have that kind of a feeling. It is rightly so, although psychologically. But अगर मैंने 100 रुपया भी खर्च किया तो उसकी वैल्यू फॉर मनी होनी चाहिए. And as a government, as a partner, we must ensure that any person who spends money gets the real worth. आर्ट एंड कल्चर डिपार्टमेंट ने भी अभी हाल में आपने देखा होगा कि अपने एक डिसीजन के माध्यम से they have opened their restricted monuments also. All the old monuments have been thrown open for wedding shoots and other requirements. Whoever want, they can pay for it and they can office hours के पहले, office hours के बाद, भीड़ में, भीड़ के बिना, कुछ भी. तो आज के इस वेबिनार का सबसे बड़ा फायदा जो मैं देखता हूं कि हम लोग को एक ऐसा कंसोलिडेटेड वो
I think we lost connection.
I think the connection is a problem.
For investment, you hotels, resorts now. We welcome investment in the service sector, whether as wedding planners, caterers, bridal wear, travel agents, whatever. And we have a lucrative investment policy under RIPS 2019 that tourism policy can take advantage of. So with these few words, I really thank Vicky and Atulji for organizing a very relevant webinar. And I look forward to receiving some concrete document where we can meet again and take it forward. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your patience listening to all the speakers and summarizing it and supporting it from the government side. And we will definitely collate all the suggestions from the speakers and come back to you with a document which can be taken forward. Definitely, there is a huge potential. There is something that is happening on its own. We have to just see how we can channelize all these efforts so that we can multiply the effect of this thing and take it to the next level. Thank you, sir. As I said, the Director of Tourism is held up with the State Tax Advisory Committee meeting, but we have some questions that have come from the participants. I would like to take one or two. Most of them have already been answered, but there is one question that is regarding the seasonality of tourism and weddings. They say that most of the weddings are held in winters, especially the bigger ones. And that is the same time for inbound tourist and the tourism season of Rajasthan. And there is a much leaner period, which is from April to September. So can we have something campaign like Har Din Shubh Hai types, wherein we have the weddings during summers also? So, sir, you would like to say something? Then we'll take comments from the hotels also.
I'll be happy to respond to this very, very good suggestion from whoever it has come from.
Yes, sir.
I must tell that government is already considering to how to make a campaign like Kerala and Goa, which are considered as round the year destinations. What is wrong with Rajasthan? It is a misnomer to say that summer बहुत यहाँ पे पीक होता है और आप कौन सी जगह पे समर में आप बाहर निकल जाते हैं. गोवा में कोई दिन में बाहर निकल जाता है. सब लोग अपने होटल में एसी में रहते हैं. दोपहर में शाम को या अर्ली मॉर्निंग्स में बाहर निकलते हैं. हमें कुछ ऐसा करना चाहिए सबसे पहले कि जैसे आपने कहा हर दिन शुभ है, इस तरीके का अगर एक कुछ और कंसर्टेड वो आइडियाज जनरेट हों, we can start a campaign within no time. I am quite sure that Rajasthan as a state has all the potential to run 24 hours round the clock. If I am wrong, anybody can please correct me if I am wrong. But to say that अगर आज गर्मियों में suppose जून का महीना है, which is a peak period for summer, आप जून में जो राजस्थान के जो रूफ टॉप होटल्स हैं, रेस्टोरेंट्स हैं, पैक्ड रहते हैं. कहीं पर भी आप देख लीजिए, they are packed. So we must take advantage and come up with some lucrative ideas and thoughts कि इसको हम राउंड द ईयर करें. अपने आप शादियां जब जिसका लीन पीरियड जिसको हम कहते हैं, उसमें नेचुरली उसका खर्चा भी कम होगा और वो चल जाएगा काम अपना. So I am absolutely for it.
Thank you, sir. In fact, you rightly said that the mornings and evenings are equally pleasant. It's only during the daytime that we have a problem. Randirji, would you like to add something to it?
Yeah, thank you, Atul. Well, it's very true that, you know, something every day is a Shubh Muhurat. So, and Rajasthan is a very interesting state. Even in a shade on a summer day, wind blows and it's so pleasant. So it is not that you have to travel in the sun. You know, you sit in the shade in the middle of the afternoon, June afternoon, it'll be very pleasant. So I think we need to do, there was a campaign which we done earlier, we called it the monsoon tourism for Rajasthan, where we said that monsoon's a great time to come and visit Rajasthan. Similarly, we need to do a campaign for this also. So I think brilliant ideas have come today, and I think we need to work and try and push it further now.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question. This is specifically to hotels, that when can we expect hotels to see all business equally instead of separating corporate, FIT and weddings separately? Now, what does it mean, sir? I don't know. Okay, instead of looking at events, corporate events, FITs and weddings separately, when can we have that hotels look at all the business in the same fashion? And
means what? Rate means what? Matlab costing wise or what?
I think it's costing wise. He says we do 25 to 30 weddings a year and face this issue everywhere. So what this separation leads to? Chetanji, you would like to say something on this? What is, or it's not clear?
Well, I don't think it's very clear, but yeah, I mean, from a, I don't know if it's costing or what that he's asking, but I don't think we've had a problem. I mean, hotel looks at an opportunity of business, and there are, of course, certain dates that there is far more demand for a date or for the hotel, and I think it's but natural that certain rates are higher and off-season rates are lower. But I don't think the question is very clear, at least not to me.
Okay. The rest of the questions are all generic in nature. We will quickly take one minute.
I think Mr. Chapura wants to say something on that regard, sir.
No. On a lighter note, Dheeraj ji, I would say Randir Dada would agree. राजस्थान में शादी ठंड में ही वास्ते है कि कपड़ा ज्यादा पहनना पड़े, साफो है, अचकन है. अब आप गोवा जाओ तो बड़े तो बोली नंगा ही घूमो, भी कहीं दिक्कत नहीं.
Quite right.
तो यहाँ पे ट्रेडिशन के हिसाब से you need people when they come to Rajasthan, they want to wear, turban, this, that. So, but of course we can always have चौमासा में भी शादी हुआ है, तावड़ा में ही शादी कर रखाएंगे.
Thank you, Mr. Chapra. The question actually looked at killing the seasonality of the affair and make it a year-round affair. We will quickly take closing comments from all other speakers in a minute or so, starting with Mr. Randir Vikram Singh. Sir, closing comments.
Yeah, thank you. In fact, it's been a brilliant session today. A lot of learning and a lot of connection. And I think a brilliant idea that Rajasthan is a desert, and why not have desert weddings? It is absolutely a super way, and we can take advantage of this. And now with round the year weddings or round the year season happening, there'll be a lot more activities in Rajasthan, and Rajasthan can be an all year round destination. Thank you.
Mr. Sandeep Loda, CEO of oyoweddings.in. Mr. Loda, summing up comments. Are you there?
Thank you. Sorry, I was on mute. It's a great platform. I must, one, congratulate everyone. Atulji, thank you for creating this platform. I think a platform like this is really needed. And then I think this is a starting point. It's a great beginning to making Rajasthan the place we want to be. The right set of people have come here. I was quite inspired by what our Commissioner ji had said. So thank you so much. I think what we are talking about here, I think if we put all of this into action, I think we will be good going forward. In terms of, I know that year-round events, weddings is not just, it's about weddings, right? There are a lot of corporate events, Atulji and everybody else, a lot of corporate events. In some of our banquets and hotels, we do corporate events throughout. Some of our banquets actually do 300 plus events a year, 300 plus. So I don't think there is a scarcity of events to do. I think it requires the team here to say, can we market the hell out of Rajasthan and say Rajasthan is the place to be for all events. I mean, Gurgaon, you are greatly located, right? Gurgaon is right there with great corporates. I mean, if you come from the highway, you can just reach Jaipur in 3 hours. You can have a great offsite. I don't know why wedding is one, but great offsites can happen from Gurgaon, right? And we have done some of them, right? So I think Rajasthan doesn't need to worry about year-round events and stuff like that. I think they need to worry about how do we enable it. I think if I can ask for one thing, just enable it, market it, give us what we need. And I think we will be all set. I think COVID has done great favors to Rajasthan. I think we should not lose this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Loda. Now I request Mr. Chetan Vora, founder Wedding Line, for his closing comments.
So I think Rajasthan has they have the sand, they have the hotels, which are as great. I think if you just develop a beach, you're as good as Dubai, and we'll all be coming to you. So I think that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Siddharth Chaturvedi.
Now, again, I'd like to thank you, Atulji, for doing this. Like I said, it's a very important dialogue, and I'm very happy to take this forward on EMA's behalf. Let's just form this partnership between us, the wedding planners and event managers. You become the facilitator, and let's have a dialogue with the government and in various aspects. How do we improve, and how do we make sure that what we have created as a brand, in terms of, as a wedding destination is concerned, Rajasthan remains on top.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Shapura.
Thank you, everyone. I would just like to put one thing again. Let's have new itineraries, let's have new projects, and let's come out of this. Less of virtual, more of practical. FHTR, we are going to have the roadshow, Randir Dara, and we are going to soon meet. I think so GIDB also should come up. We should get out of this depression case of COVID now and come back to our personality. Thank you for calling.
Our keynote speaker, Srivastav ji, sir, any closing comments from your side, sir?
The closing comment will be a repetition. I would request you, Atulji, to follow up closely on this very relevant topic which you have raised. I will be particularly very, very interested, and I can organize a gathering of all key officials to come to a physical session. If you organize it in Jaipur, I'll also come from Delhi. Let's have a physical meeting and take it further, because we should not leave it here.
Sure.
See, a lot of important suggestions have come out, and we need to carry it forward and ensure that they reach their logical conclusion. Because जैसे चेतन जी ने कहा, अभी बीच एक हो जाए तो सारा काम हो जाए. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बीच नहीं बन सकता है. There are artificial beaches. If we really work on that, I'm sure we can come up with a so
Thanks,
we need to work together, and I'm all for it. I would request Atulji, you can think of forming a small WhatsApp group with all the major stakeholders, so that we continue this deliberation and interaction, and it's taken further. Thank you.
Thank you for that proactive approach and support, sir. We will definitely collate the suggestions and take it forward as per your guidance. And last, we have Nishant Jain, as I mentioned, Director Tourism could not join, but we have Mr. Ajay Sharma from Department of Tourism. If you want to conclude the session.
Thank you, Mr. Atul. It's been a pleasure speaking with all these gentlemen here. Good afternoon to you, sir. Director sir is not here, but most of it has been covered. Dheeraj sir has truly represented Rajasthan government and the tourism policy initiatives that government of Rajasthan is taking, Department of Tourism taking. So all I say is that FICCI should compile all these suggestions and put forth with the government, and of course we'll go for it. And in the tourism policy, as we are making the guidelines, framing the guidelines, then it would greatly help in promoting this sector. So with all that, all the best to you, and thank you so much for organizing this webinar.
Thank you, Ajay ji. In the end, we come to the closure of this webinar. I would like to thank all the speakers. I would like to especially thank Rajasthan Tourism for its support and partnership for the event, and we look forward to taking this further and taking it to a logical conclusion, as Mr. Srivastav has said. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
good
much.
day,
Thank you.
everyone.